streaming for the first time. So yay, everyone. Hello.
Yay! So exciting. This is amazing.
So our intention of today is to blast some positivity out into the world and our social media feeds and help you navigate these times. So on today's show, we have Sarah Curley, Alicia Munian, Rhea Nichols, and they join us to discuss how to take your power back, how to shine your light, how to manifest the life you desire, and navigate these challenging times. So this show is going to be spectacular, and we are blessed to have three beautiful light workers. So let me just tell you a little bit about them, and then we'll get into it. Sarah Curley is an intuitive coach, energy healer, medium, and trance channel that uses her gifts to assist others on their personal journey toward awakening. She offers a personal and group counseling as well as private energy healing and channeling. Sarah was a previous guest on the Tabytha Polaris show podcast. If you want to listen to her episode, it was called Channeling Love and Light, and that was episode 15. So please welcome Sarah. Wave so everyone knows who you are.
Hi.
So Rhea is a licensed therapist, intuitive energy healer, and ascension guide. She assists the collective in raising their vibrational frequency and expanding their consciousness to help step into the highest version of themselves, using many clinical and spiritual modalities to facilitate healing on every dimension of the mind, body, and spirit. Rhea was also a guest on the podcast. She was featured in episode 8, and that was called The Sacred Sisterhood, as well as Lucid Lightworkers, episode 14. You were the only one who came back twice, I think, and Gina Califano. So wave so everyone knows who you are.
Hi, everyone.
And Alicia Munian is a meditation teacher, intuitive psychic in Northport. She has been on an intensive journey of healing herself from depression and anxiety that started in her teenage years. And through healing herself, she was able to awaken her spiritual gifts and abilities and learn how to heal others. She has worked with over 100 clients on teaching them how to meditate, providing psychic guidance to others. Alicia was also on the podcast, episode 17. It was called Loving Yourself More Deeply. That was such a beautiful show.
That was so beautiful. Hi, everyone.
And my name is Tabytha Polaris. I'm a singing light worker and creator of high frequency music and channeled meditations. I host the Tabytha Polaris Show podcast, and I interview light workers and holistic health healers to assist in their spiritual ascension. I'm the owner of Hands in Harmony Holistic Spa, and I offer Reiki, sound healing, and essential oil raindrop massage and infrared sauna sessions. I use that sauna every day. Now I'm going in after the show. And my mission is to expand consciousness, raise the frequency of the planet, and fill all your hearts with joy. So I was guided to interview light workers and healers and to start live streaming, which was a little bit uncomfortable for me because I'm used to pre-recording shows, editing, and putting them out. And sometimes in your life, you have to push through that uncomfortable feeling.
Definitely.
I'm used to going, live by myself, but to actually, host a show. So, advice for everyone out there, keep pushing yourself through every step. It's okay to be uncomfortable, right?
Oh, yeah.
So,
that's how we grow.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and it's
go ahead.
Without our uncomfortable moments, like we would just be, just sliding through, and it's like those uncomfortable moments that cause us to climb that mountain, and it's like it pushes us beyond.
I always get nervous when I do something new, and then after a few weeks, I'm like, I got this. I'm good.
Exactly.
Just another day, right?
Very normal.
Normal. So thank you again for joining me. And I just want to tell everyone listening, just please keep the faith. I believe what's happening now is the chaos in the world is paving the way for unity consciousness. And the dark is purging to let more light in.
So true.
And, we're going to attract more positivity, more higher frequencies into our reality. So I just listened to Matt Kahn. He's one of my spiritual guides. I love Matt Kahn.
I love him.
And he said we must be equally grounded and equally expanded.
Oh.
Now, that is such a huge statement. This perception can help us transform our reality and bring forth the cosmic reset. And many spiritual leaders are dropping nuggets of gold right now and giving us really good advice. And he was also speaking about that contraction and expansion. So right now we're seeing that intense contraction, that explosion. And without that, we can't have the expansion. So isn't that a great way of looking at it?
It's so true. I
It's
also think
amazing.
we expand and contract within our own personal life too, right? You
Yeah.
have to go in to seek the inspiration and to have that incubate so then you can bring it out to the world. It's who we are, right? It's a natural process, how we create.
It's so important too to go within and be the change you want to see in the world. Now it's the time, everyone, to do that inner work, go within. We had a timeout, which, made all of us take some extra time to do some development and go within. Have you guys enjoyed that time to really go within?
Yeah, during this time,
Absolutely.
it's been like so profound because I had like so many traumas that like arose, and I think the collective sort of experienced this too. Like when we were by ourselves, it's like all of the darkness comes up for us to address it, and just so many profound shifts in my own life. And I know you guys as well probably had the same experiences as well.
Yeah. What about you, Rhea?
Yes. So this time was really, really powerful for me to not only solidify my own practices and my own routines, but it's really been something for me to fall back on when times do get a little bit chaotic for me. And it's really just been a time for us to all go inwards and all go within, to really extract our strength and to extract the blessings that exist for all of us. It's really a powerful time where, we have to dig deep. And I love how you bring up the contraction for expansion, because I feel that, kind of like what Sarah said, that's really what we're doing in life. We're expanding, we're contracting, we're moving through these cycles of life. And throughout that process, we're learning about ourselves. We're learning about our needs and our values and, just about our human relationships and connections with people.
So true.
So
Yeah.
I'd like to read a few sentences from Patricia Coda Robles' latest
Oh,
blog.
I love her too.
I love her.
I saw her speak in the city. She was
I saw her.
You saw her?
I drove to a hellhole in Jersey. I'm like, this light worker is speaking here. It was like the dirtiest.
Well, that's where she's needed, right?
And that it was a portal for her light to shine through. It was so funny.
She's amazing.
She
Yeah.
channels, basically. She's incredible. Anyway, she stated in her latest vlog, for the past several years, we have experienced an accelerated influx of light that has intensified our ascension process in many ways. One of those ways is the greatly increased purging process that is pushing to the surface all the distorted patterns of pain and suffering that humanity has deliberately or inadvertently created through the misuse of thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. And these painful experiences must be transmuted back to light in order to complete our ascension process into the fifth dimensional heart-based new earth. Woo! So
that's so powerful.
Going to put a link to that vlog in the description later, so everyone can watch the full vlog. But let's discuss this statement. Who wants to go first?
I could go first if
Sarah.
you want. The purge, I really like that word purge, right? Cleansing, clearing. And I think when you guys were talking about the quarantine, right, that's a perfect opportunity because the world is move, 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 go, 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 move, 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 go, go, go. And then all of a sudden, stop moving, stop going. And are we comfortable with that? Are we comfortable in our own skin? Are we comfortable with our own thoughts? Do we actually like ourselves? And so we can never find out if we're never still, if we never create that time. So I really think that quarantine was a blessing and a gift because it really got us to stop. And now I'm sure you guys have noticed a purge, a cleanse, even physically. And when we're in those places, can we sit? Can we be still? Can we take care of ourselves? Can we, it's more challenging than you think sometimes, right? Especially when you're a giver and you give and you give. So huge lessons in the collective purge, right? That affects us individually in our own lives. So whatever is happening on the microcosm or macro is happening in the micro, right? So purge is a perfect word. I feel in my own life, wow, all of this old stuff has to come up, right? It has to, that's the only way to grow. And that's the only way to come forward as a leader and as a spiritual healer, to be authentic in your own practice. You have to be authentic in your own self inner work, right? So I know you guys are resonating. You're like, yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Who wants to go next?
I
I'll
could
go
go.
next. Oh,
Oh,
go.
yeah, no, you
Alicia,
could go. You could go.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
No, you. No, you.
I feel like no, you go
Just so much
first.
light back and forth.
So
It's
much
just
light.
like everyone's like, yeah, you
Just
go.
bouncing off like
We're all like stars just shining. Okay, go.
yes, yes. Just, kind of reflecting on, what Sarah was saying, it's so true that, especially as light workers and as leaders in this space, we have to make sure that we are doing our own work first, and that we are, these things are coming up to the surface for us to see and acknowledge and become aware of. And what I always do, in my one-on-one work with clients is, we really look at certain patterns, we look at habits, we look at behaviors, we look at mindset, because the thing is, if we're not aware of it, if we're not conscious of it, we can't do anything about it. It's kind of floating below the surface. So this whole time with, quarantine and everything that happened in 2020 and, everything that's going to take place even this year, it's like we're still going through it. We're not quite out of the woods yet, but all of this is necessary. And when we can really anchor in and look at it as a blessing that, okay, it might be scary, it might be chaotic, it might be tumultuous, but when we come back to our core, when we come back to our heart, we know that we're going to be okay. We have practices, we have people around us. It's time for us to really go there and shine a light on any darkness, because when it comes to the surface, we can clear it, we can heal it, we can integrate it, we can do what needs to be done in order to move forward in the most powerful way.
That's a great point, because I was
yes.
wondering how you guys envision and how you manifest or transmute the pain into light. So you kind of touched upon that. So it was really beautiful.
That's actually like a perfect place, because that's exactly what I was going to talk about, like transmuting that pain to light, because like I said, when I went into quarantine, there was like a lot of traumas that came up for me. And because I like live by myself also, this is like another angle, you're completely in solitude. You're really like, honestly, whatever you're doing, it's like going to be reflected times 10, because you have to deal with yourself. If there's like, you leave the dishes uncleaned, you got to clean it up. Like no one's going to do it for you, like just things like that. It's like really a test of your mind. And it's like, can you truly be with yourself? And especially in the quarantine, this put it to the test like times 2. Like you can't go outside, you can't go visit your friends, you're really truly alone. So in this time frame, I really went within myself and I really dug deep. And I feel like I went to a place of generational healing, because there's so many wounds there. And I feel like the collective really had to heal so many things. And also in the case where like people were stuck in households with their family, I know people who were stuck in abusive households during this time. And, so many things came to the surface for them. And now, like, I'm slowly like getting so many clients who need these generational healings. And I feel like, this is a huge thing that's coming right now to the surface, because we're healing these ancestral pains as light workers. We're the ones who, we had to heal ourselves first so that we can now heal this collective burden, and it's so powerful.
And everyone listening, don't forget, you can ask your spirit guides, you can pray, you can meditate, you can ask for help. And I love whoever said this. I heard it and I say it all the time. Praying is when we ask for help, and meditating is when we hear and listen for the answers. And I want everyone to trust their
when
intuition.
you receive,
you receive it. I mean, everyone is intuitive in some way. And so I find that navigating these times, I've really come to trust my intuition even more. We're inundated with so much information and so many emotions. And I want everyone today to use that as one tool to help you navigate through these times. What does that feel in your heart? Is that truth? Is that a lie? Is this a good person? Should I do this in my life? Like really going inside and listening to your heart and following your joy. And, that's how you can it really helps to navigate those times. Do you guys do certain spiritual practices during the day, the morning, the night, to do this, self-care to help you get through the day and to be able to help others in your practices?
Yeah,
Oh,
100%.
absolutely.
Have to.
Mhm.
Have to. I feel like I always call it my meat and potatoes that I have to have. And it gets me through the day, helps me cope. It helps me be less reactive. It helps me detach and see things from a place of awareness. And in the morning, every morning, I meditate. I do some manifestation, like mindfulness, where I like envision what I want. And then I call it to me and I say, I'm worthy to receive this. And it's important to have that time for yourself, because especially all of us are in the helping healing profession. You're giving all day, so you need that. You need that time. And I know Alicia does a lot of meditation work. It's the best part about meditation is being able to detach, having that ability not to let your thoughts rule you, to know that there's a place beyond you that's just your thoughts. So
Definitely.
you need to have those practice. Everybody should have some practice. I mean, like 5 minutes, like
Let's give them some ideas, everyone. We're going to share some of our secret tools.
something. I mean, yeah, like even if it's just putting your hands on your heart, like, and taking a deep breath, like, I am enough. Like,
Yeah.
I am the prize. Like, I am enough. Like, even if it's just that, like that, y- you need something, a recharge, like even if it's taking a bath at night, you know.
I'm a
Uh,
huge bath girl. I love ritual baths. I love the flower petals. I love like creating a bath, especially during the full moon times. This is like a calling for like, especially women, just to have that moment to be in tune with the moon, in tune with your goddess self, create a beautiful bath, take a moment to meditate,
I
release,
love it.
reflect, and
I
just
love it.
let go,
It's great. You got to cleanse and clear your energy. Epsom salt is great for that too.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
pour essential oils all over me all day long.
Oh my God, I love
Yes.
it.
I'm laying,
All
I
the
got
above.
It
All the
smells so
above.
good.
I got crystals all over me, but the most important thing is I wake up every morning and I watch the sunrise. And this
Oh,
was
I love
something that
Great.
sun
I
gazing. That's
I am a
powerful.
musician night owl girl, okay? I don't know, this is something new during quarantine that happened. I just started waking up to start the day with complete utter beauty of nature. Every single morning I wake up, I go outside, I watch the sunrise, and it's spectacular.
That's your higher self is guiding you to that
Yeah.
practice. That's
That's
because you're
beautiful.
rising with the sun.
I'm rising with the sun. That's a
Yeah.
song lyric. Just
Really?
mess them up yourselves
Well,
while
I
I
actually
write that down.
Got her notepad.
that came up
I love it.
in a channeling I had channeled, and they said, your natural instinct, your circadian.
50% of the song is yours.
It's okay. You give
Get
credit
a
to
royalty, right?
give credit to the divine. But yeah, you rise with the sun. It's our natural, because we're part of the earth, right?
Yeah.
So
And then, after I experience all that beauty to start my day, I go right into my sacred room in my house. Everyone needs a sacred space, whether it's a corner, a desk, or a full room, whatever you can manage. You have a little altar with your candles and some things that are special to you. You have a gratitude journal, write down a few things you're grateful for, and do a little deep breathing, get centered, pray, meditate. You could set an intention for the day, and then take some sage and sage the hell out of yourself, especially now. And that has seemed to really help me. So do you guys have any other tips to share with anyone?
Something that has been really powerful for me in creating a practice is journaling. And in that journaling, I do things like vision work. I'm always looking at my energy, like how did I do today? How, I found it really important to have morning and evening routines, where in the morning it's like I'm filling my mind with inspiration. I'm journaling, I'm getting my thoughts out, I'm connecting in with the highest version of myself to see how I'm going to, carry out my day, how I want it to look. And then at night, going back and just looking at,
yeah.
how I did, what came up, what am I celebrating? What was good? What did I learn today? What was a challenge? And really just increasing that awareness I have over the way that I move through time and space has just been a game changer, because again, once we have that awareness, once we can expand our consciousness, that's when we can take action on certain things. So that's been really powerful for me, just having routines and journaling, you know, getting everything out on paper, really going inwards and looking at, you know, how I'm showing up in life, and, you know, if there's anything that I want to change.
I like how you said calling attention to what you did right. I think that's so important, because most of the time we don't. We're just like, what am I doing wrong? I gotta fix, I gotta fix, I gotta be better. And we hardly celebrate. And I think that's really good practice to have. I also I have this practice where I ask every day, what do I need to release? What do I need to receive? And what do I need to remember? So every morning,
Oh,
yeah.
I love that. That's
I
so
love that so
great.
much.
Yeah. So
The
do
3
that.
R's.
Yeah, the 3 R's.
Yes, that's
So every
great.
morning, and ask your higher self, and let it be like just natural, like whatever comes to you. It could just be as simple as I need to remember love, you know? It doesn't have to be complicated, but
Yeah.
like Rhea said, journaling is really, really powerful.
Yeah, it also, you know, lets your subconscious kind of come through, and we can actually see like mental limitations. If we're writing something, we're like, oh, wow, you know, I've got to shift that belief. But I think too that, you know, the power in that is we can always be reflecting on, you know, who we are and what we're doing. And the power in celebrating too is, you know, we all have things that we can complain about. We all have problems. We all have issues. You know, it's part of the human experience. But when we can really tune our mind and our attention into what is going well for us and what we are grateful for and what we want to expand, we're giving our energy and attention to things that feel good. So when we can anchor in those positive emotions, that's when we can be on a higher frequency to then attract more positive experience. We're like training our brain to look for the good, to look for the things to celebrate. And it's been incredible in maintaining a high frequency, because I'm always looking for, okay, what's going right? What's going well? What can I feel good about? And I let myself feel really, really good about it.
That's awesome. I love that. That's like, because you're attracting more good.
Yes, yes.
Definitely.
So-
I feel like especially during, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, especially during the quarantine, like I feel like our level of manifestation like has just increased because of all that we've released, you know? Like there's been so many things that I've been visualizing for years that like now it's coming to fruition, you know? And I feel like especially towards that ending part of the year, it's just like all coming together, and it's so amazing to see like the fruits of the rewards and just knowing that it's there for us, you know?
Manifesting is important. Does anyone want to give some tips to people listening on the first steps to manifesting the life you desire?
Visualizing.
Yes, I actually have a really funny story about manifestation, and it actually has to do with what we're doing here today.
Okay.
So, you know, I know that, you know, Tabytha had called me and like let me know about the Lightworkers Roundtable and everything like that. And, you know, I do this practice where I reflect on my past year and I think about, you know, the things that went well. Again, like it's a practice that I kind of break down. So I do it weekly, I do it daily, and then I do it yearly, where I look back and reflect. And something that went really well for me was I really enjoyed, you know, having speaking engagements and having podcast interviews. And so as I was creating my intentions for 2021 and thinking about, okay, you know, what do I want to see happen? I literally get a message from Tabytha that's like, all right, Tuesday night, 5 p.m. And I was like, there we go. Perfect. Like I literally was just thinking about, yeah, like I want to have more like, you know, speaking engagements. I want to have more podcast interviews. And then I literally get a message saying like, okay, Tuesday, 5 p.m. And I'm just like, yep, that's basically like where it's at right now.
Funny.
So yeah, it's really
What
funny.
about you, Alicia?
Actually like literally had almost a parallel experience to you, because like there was someone who reached out to me to like be interviewed on their podcast, and I was like, oh, I like want more of these, like let's open up the door to these. And then literally the next day was when you messaged me too. Yeah, 100%. That's so wild.
That's so funny.
God.
Yep.
That's funny.
And then Sarah, I remember you were telling me how you manifested something so quickly recently. It was like something so random, like you wanted like a nail
Oh
polish
yeah,
or
on
something
your
like
live.
that.
Oh yeah, my
Yeah,
life.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I would really like a new highlighter, and then like, the Ipsy bag thing, like one came in the mail. It's just, what I always say to people, and a dresser. I wanted a dresser. I was
Oh
like, I need
yeah.
a new dresser, and I was driving, and someone was throwing out a brand new dresser. But what I said in that live was that when it's the things we don't have expectation on, right? We don't hold on tightly to it, so it can come quicker. It's when we hold on very tightly. So key on manifestation, I started doing the Gabby Bernstein 21-day manifestation thing, and I love her. And one of the things she says is like, you're supposed to desire it, but then let it go, because the universe, you're supposed to give it over. Like we hold on to it too tightly, we're blocking it. But I did want to share, I asked for a sign, because in that challenge, she says, ask for a sign. And it was so cool how that sign showed up. Did you hear? I talked about the horses. Did you guys see that? So I posted, so she says, ask for a sign, right? And ask for a sign, I'm on the right track, and see how the universe brings it to you. And whatever your sign is, let it be just like something intuitive. So I asked for a brown horse. And I said, in 3 days, I want to see a brown horse that shows up in any shape or form to tell me I'm on the right track, right? So in 3 days' time, I'm scrolling on Insta, and I totally forgot. I asked about the sign because I let it go. A brown horse, 4 brown horses showed up in an ad on Instagram or whatever. I'm like, oh, that's cool. But you know what? I want to see it again. So so then the next day, I was in my room and my daughter came in and she showed me a screenshot of her screensaver on her computer. That was 4 brown horses. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Show it to me one more time. I want to see it because I like the number 3. I like 3. And then that day, a couple of days, like hours later, I was scrolling on Facebook, and this picture of a brown horse, it was like a meme, and it said, when you see it, say done. And I was like, I feel like the universe is telling me, like, okay, that's the last freaking horse you're gonna get. But I just wanted to share that.
That's amazing. That was a
That's
good
so
point,
beautiful.
though, about letting go, because there was a point during this year where I was debating whether or not to keep my holistic office or not. And I realized that it's my choice. I had a moment of realization that I was like, it's what I want to do.
Aw, yeah.
So
Yeah.
whatever I decide, all good. The universe will
Yeah.
conspire with me.
I
So
love that.
Yes.
and it was funny too. And then the next day, started to just get tons of client calls. I'm like, what happened? You were all hiding for a while and now you're calling. But there was a time where I had to close for a bit, so I wasn't sure what the right thing to do was. And I made a decision to keep the place. And I'm so happy about it. And I've heard Sarah speak on that in her beautiful lives. And that helped me make that decision. I
Oh,
think one of
good.
your lives helped me with that decision.
Good,
You were
good, good.
talking about just making the decision and then letting it go.
Yeah.
So that was a
Yeah.
really good manifesting tip.
Yeah.
A lot of times too, during these times, I'm in observation mode. So like, during this chaotic time, I observe with no judgment. So like we're getting just bombarded with a lot of things. And I tend to just be like a distant observer. So I'm in reality and grounded and know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also try to bring in the frequencies of higher light, love, and, really try to help other people follow my joy, manifest things and keep myself in a higher frequency. Because I really think, doesn't it start with all of us? Like if I'm thinking good thoughts and my frequency is high, I'm affecting the entire world. I'm helping to raise the frequency of the world. So when it does start with us, so I can listen to some high frequency music, I can meditate, I can do lots of things to raise my frequency. And when I see something that triggers me or something happens that triggers me, I kind of just brush it off. And I do a little deep breathing, and I find connecting with my breath and then just releasing and letting it go is really helpful. And again, taking a walk in nature is always a good cure.
Forcing yourself to get out in the cold, because once you're out there, it's not too bad.
Or escaping to the tropics.
Yes, you're right.
I'll take that one.
For that too.
Option B, please.
Option B. We're all going to Costa Rica one day. I was following you live. You were in Paradise, and I was like, looking at you in these waterfalls and hot springs. I was
You know
like,
what's funny?
wow.
One thing that people always ask me, they're like, how do you manifest travel? Because I'm someone who's like, you know, if I want to go somewhere, it's like definitely happening. And I have different techniques for that as well. And one thing that I do that's really helped me is sometimes I like to like astral project, meditate to the place that I want to go. And I feel like that helps me like living in that place for like a while in my meditation. I'm like, oh, this is possible and this is what it's going to be like. And then, you know, grounding myself back to reality, and then actually planning, you know, seeing where my soul goes first, and then seeing like, okay, like this is what I would do. This is like, you know, what my budget is and things like that. And then kind of looking for deals too, because part of it is also research and just trusting the universe. Like, okay, know that like it's going to open up a deal for me, you know? And for example, I got a $200 round trip ticket flight to Costa Rica, and that's why I was able to go. Like,
wow.
People are like, how are you spending all this money? I literally, in my last trip to Costa Rica, I spent $500 in for like the whole trip. And I had just had such an amazing experience being completely in tune. It's because 1, I set the intention, 2, I visualized, 3, I did the research and the planning, which is also working in harmony with the universe and your soul too, you know, because it's about matching the visualization with action and then just making it happen and living it out, you know.
That's a tweetable. That's good.
Yeah.
I love that so much too, because part of manifestation too, you know, there's a big misconception that, oh, you know, you just have to think, you know, positively and just visualize, and that's really important. But we also have to be activating the inner divine masculine as well, to be taking action and to be like creating that strategy and structure of, okay, how are we going to bring this vision into reality? How are we going to birth it? You know,
it's
not just exactly. Yeah. So I love that story. That's so amazing. And I want to hear more about how you manifest these travel. Like, I want to travel.
Yes, girl, you could do it.
I have a quickie travel thing after you're done.
Go. Okay. The number one thing, I just wanted to throw it out there, the app Sky Scanner. If you intend on going somewhere, everyone's like writing it down. This app has literally helped me to go to Thailand for $800 round trip.
Scanner?
Yeah, Sky Scanner. I love everyone's writing it down right now. But this app has literally saved my life with travel, because you can find such cheap round trip ticket flights to different places in the world. Or let's say, for example, you have a 3 or 4 day weekend, you can put, you want to go anywhere in the world, and then it'll show you the best deals for flights, like during that time frame.
Do you feel like do you feel like you get this pull, like this kind of like, I have to go to this place? Like, do you feel that's how you know where you're going next?
100%. That's exactly what it is. Because like even before I went to Costa Rica the first time, I had a dream about myself being there too. And I feel like I don't know, it's like part of my soul's mission to go to these different places, because like literally wherever I go, and like, you know, I'm a solo female traveler, like I've been to 13 countries now by myself traveling. And it's all about like trusting yourself. And like, while I'm going to these places, I'm opening up my soul, and I'm really stepping into the deepest place of trust with the universe, because you can't doubt yourself when you're by yourself in Iceland and you're trying to find your way home. You know what I mean? Like, you have to fully own your decision, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna like go here, and I'm gonna do this, and this is my plan, you know, and you stick to it and you commit to it, and you like, in communication with your guides, let them show you the way.
Well, my quickie travel story, it happened a long time ago, was I had a dream board, a vision board, and I put swim with dolphins on it. And I love the dolphin kingdom. I love them. I'm obsessed. I did a project on them in 4th grade and built one out of paper.
I did too.
With my dad.
I did one in 7th grade.
We're like dolphin nerds. Yeah, I was obsessed my whole life. What? So, so I got a business call. We're going on a business trip. I was like, fabulous. And then like a day later, I get a call. We're going to fly in a day early in Florida so we can go swim with dolphins.
Oh,
That's
yes.
amazing.
I was like, yes, a check. And then at the end of the year, I would like break out my vision board from the beginning of the year. And I was amazed at like what happened. But everything that you guys said was so beautiful about, I think we tied in how to manifest, because like not only doing all those things, putting it in action and taking small attainable action steps and activating our divine masculine. That was brilliant. So these were really good tips. Do you have any final things of inspiration or hope that you'd like to share before we can go around and you could tell everyone how to discover you and what you're up to?
I had one quick thing about the dolphin.
Oh, yes.
So like the reason why I was so excited about it was because dolphin energy is actually really connected to galactic energy. And they say that dolphins are connected to the Pleiadians.
Yes.
So like when you both said it, I was like, that's why.
Yeah, the Syrians too. They say that the Syrians didn't like the humanoid form, so they came in the form of dolphins and went.
The more
they're little aliens.
We love aliens. The more that I, learn about dolphins, the more I realize how awesome they are, because like, and how much I feel so connected with them. They communicate through sound frequency, and I'm like, yes.
When I went to Hawaii, I was praying the whole time to see dolphins. Every time we went on, and I was like, please, Amana, bring the dolphins. And then we went snorkeling and they came, and I was like, call, please, and they came, and I was like, I flipped out. I was
so I don't like seeing them in captivity. So then after that experience, I prayed to see them in the wild.
Yes. It's
a different experience. So I was in Marco Island, Florida, which is my happy place. I go there as much as possible. And I was swimming in the ocean, and the dolphins were swimming so close to me. And that whole weekend, they were just swimming all around the islands. And I was like, this is where I want to live. This is where I want to like be, with the dolphins in Marco Island and just hanging out and swimming. And there was something in that moment that activated me. It was like an activation. Light codes came in, and like I really felt so connected to the earth and the dolphins, and the birds were playing with the dolphins. And I'm like, why don't I live here all the time? So that's my goal, is to live there all the time. But I wanted to just go around and make sure you tell everyone how to discover you, and if you wanted to share what you're offering or what you're up to, and tell them about your websites and social media pages. So, Alicia?
Awesome. So my name is Intuitive Alicia. That's my psychic name. And you guys can find me at intuitivealicia.com. I have a lot of amazing new offerings. I'm doing like intuitive mentoring, and I'm also doing classes to teach people how to tap into their most intuitive self. And if you're a light worker yourself and you're just starting off, I actually have a new package where I'm helping you to build your website and helping you to build your offerings as well. So if this calling is for you, I do like intuitive marketing, and that's like a gift that I've been developing, and I'm so excited to offer more. So you could get in touch with me at Alicia Munian on Instagram or A Munian on Facebook.
The wink.
The wink.
My millennial friends of light. Rhea?
Okay, so my healing practice is called Lucid Journey Ascension. So that's my handle on Instagram. It's separated by underscores. So it's LUCID_JOURNEY_ASCENSION. So I also have a Facebook page, Lucid Journey Ascension. You can find me on Facebook at Rhea Nichols. And I actually do have a group for light workers, for people who are on the spiritual path, for people who, have a mission and purpose of spreading light, of raising the frequency of the planet, expanding consciousness. We do all kinds of fun stuff in there, and that's called Lucid Light Workers. And coming up, I actually have a few workshops coming up The next one I have starting on January 27th, and it's a collaboration with my dear soul sister, Stella Grace. It's going to be called The Secret Language of Trauma. And so I'm bringing my expertise in the field of mental health and energy work. And she is a feminine business coach. And so there is a lot of things that kind of happen in the coaching industry that are not necessarily trauma informed. So we are really bringing this whole notion of being trauma informed in your leadership, how to recognize trauma, what to do if your client has an experience of trauma. So that's coming up January 27th. And then we're going to be doing a larger program called Sacred Space in February, which is a leadership activation for people who hold space for other people in any way, shape, or form. So that's everything that I have going on. And I really hope to connect with you.
Fabulous. And Sarah, my love.
Let's see. It's like thinking of all these things, right? So I am on Instagram. I'm Sarah Intuitive Coach. I share a lot of inspiration and light language and just a lot of messaging that's geared towards, rising into your power. I am on Facebook, Sarah Bloomfield Curley, but I have a Facebook group called Embody Your Limitless Self. And I have a masterclass in that group every month just for my group, free teachings and trainings. I also have a YouTube channel, Embody Your Light. I do channelings, trance channelings on there, messages and light language and so on and so forth. I am doing private mentoring right now. I have a program, a 6-step program. It's called the Empowered Light Leader. And it's coaching light workers who maybe are thinking about starting, a spiritual business. They want to be a spiritual entrepreneur, but maybe they're more introverted and they're not quite sure how to do that. And they need someone to coach them through their fears and their, fears of being seen and all that, as well as giving some, business tools and tips to get them started. And I'm going to be creating a group program for that in March. So I'm really excited about that because I'm people on the journey with me as I learn. I want to bring people on board with me. And I think it's so important because people are being activated right now, right? Light workers. And how do we go forward with our gift in a public way without feeling nervous or afraid of being seen? And I really want to empower people to do that. So that's me.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you.
Beautiful.
So I'm Tabytha Polaris. You can find me on all social media sites. I spell my name with a Y, Tabytha. And I have just released a free guided meditation with healing frequency music set to 528 hertz about the energies of 2021. So that's a really exciting project. I literally, like last week, I went right to the recording studio when everything was just chaotic. And I was like, I got to create something and put it out there for everyone. So you can find that meditation. It's really beautiful. You surround yourself in light and love, fly with the angels around the earth and hold the earth in love. It's really fun. And as you're listening, you're getting a healing because it's upgrading your DNA and helping you release negativity. That's a miracle tone, the 528 hertz. And I tuned the bass note of the song to that frequency. So that's really cool. And that's the first time I worked with a frequency that was on my list, my to-do list for 2021. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy that. You can find that on my blog or any of my social media channels. And I also just released the digital version of 7 Spheres of Light, my guided meditation album infused with healing frequency instruments. And that is a really exciting project. It comes with an ebook about balancing your chakras, and it comes with 7 audio meditations, 1 for each chakra. It comes in MP3 form that you can download and put it on any device, and also comes with companion animated videos, which are a whole other experience to receive that healing through watching as well. And those can be live streamed in a private portal on my website. And in February, I have little USB music cards coming out of the album. So I'm really excited. So that's what's available now. And of course, I have the podcast available on all podcast platforms, the Tabytha Polaris Show. And the future, I am creating a forum, a Lightworkers forum on my website. So we have a place to interact for free, non-censored, and have different topics about, everything we want to talk about and help meet people and connect. So I'm really excited about that. So that's what's cooking next. And again, thank you, ladies. I absolutely adore and love every single one of you. This was a really special conversation, and I'm full of gratitude for you spending some time to help others. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I do love you guys so much. So thank you.
So much love. Thank
Thank
you.
you
Thank
all.
you
This
for
was
hosting
so
us.
fun. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right. So let me stop the live.